What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, sporting in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is SuperAfim. His opponent today pulling out all of the stops here for this series. I am incredibly surprised we see in the red color playing as Isis of all gods. His name is Kvoth. We'll talk about that in a hot second, but this is a spicy play here from Kvoth. SuperAfim taking that first game, maybe surprisingly there, against Kvoth. I think Kvoth is definitely a fan favorite to some degree. He's definitely capable of taking games off the best of the best. But he's decided to go away, step away from his tried and true Atlantean here and stick it out here with the Isis, trying something completely different, maybe trying to get SuperAfim out of book, so to speak, being that maybe SuperAfim would have expected Uranus here, maybe expected Hades here, maybe expected anything other than Isis at this point. Now, Kovath has been playing a little bit of Isis of late. We have been seeing Kovath's Isis. However, Isis versus Ra is not a easy matchup in the slightest. It is not an auto win matchup in the slightest here for Isis. However, it's an easy matchup to play from the Isis perspective. You got one strategy only. Well, technically there's two strategies, but the one strategy is very not common at all. You got one strategy and one strategy alone. That's one town center, full send. You full send on your opponent, you kill him, and you say you're dead, and they can't survive. Now, Kovath gets incredibly lucky here. He gets himself a 1 gold mine frozen wastes. 1 gold mine frozen waste, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he wants. He wants that home gold mine to expire, and he wants to enjoy his Ancestors Eclipse timing push. Now, the problem here is that SuperAfim has found himself a town center with a gold mine on it and Caribou, which is something that maybe Caribou that are this far off the town center that's not that important for a lot of different matchups. But against the Isis, this is incredibly important because it means that SuperAfim can delay the rain. He can delay the rain, which does matter. The longer you delay the rain, the more you can potentially delay Ancestors Eclipse from hitting you. So you can or alternatively, another strategy here, which is really strong, that not talked about very much because it's not done so well. But the idea is you just go Bast, 2 town center fast heroic, throw everyone onto gold, throw a market down. You can buy a little bit of food every 15 seconds or so to make your villagers come out. But the idea is that you make Pitsukos and use Bast to absolutely destroy your opponent. Completely wild strategy. Definitely not expecting to see it here in this game. I would be surprised to see SuperAfim doing anything other than shenanigans here. But the question is going to be exactly what sort of Ancestors Eclipse timing push is Kvoth going to be going to? Does he go for a standard Chariot Archer, Scorpion Man, Siege Tower? Or does he go for something crazy like Priest Siege? Priest Siege is actually a completely viable strategy as well against Ra, with the idea that you can advance at, say, 7 minutes into the game. You don't need to throw down a Migdol Stronghold. You just throw down a Siege works first and foremost, and you just put that right in front, right out of range of the town. So you put the Siege works down here, and then you just put a temple down as well, and you just start spamming these units straight at him. Ancestors Eclipse, by the time he hits the classical, the heroic age, he's already dead. But Ty's going to be hitting first here. Makes a lot of sense. Kvoth is not going for a fast second town center. This is a slightly late tar here from SuperAfim against the Isis. But that being said, a delayed classical age here isn't going to be the worst thing from the Ra perspective. Arguably, it is less economically efficient because your town center gets up a little bit later, but you are going to have a little bit more economy earlier to get your technologies out. Now, let's continue on into the kind of mind games, if you will. Not mind games, but the kind of strategy that comes out of this Ra ISIS matchup. The most important thing for SuperAfim here in this matchup is to not put farms on this town center. If he wants to put 2 farms on this town center, fine. But you don't put farms on this town center. Why? Because you're going to be sacking this town center. There is zero way to stop an Ancestors Eclipse timing push if they go 1 town center. You can't stop it as the Ra player if the timing attack comes with any urgency at all. So your idea is, as we are now starting to see farms coming up here, 3 farms, 4 farms, 5 farms, I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's a waste of gold. You're going to be hurting yourself in these situations, but we'll see how it's going to go as Kvoth is hitting that next age here. He's finishing up with that final walrus. His armory in his main base going up with a handful of villagers here. Looks like he may have forgotten that here, in all honesty. Or maybe not. Maybe he didn't. It's a delayed classical age after all, but he's going to be looking to get himself to the next age. SuperAfim at this point, 0 resources in the bank. As SuperAfim gets himself the armory. Rain coming down. 6 minutes 17 rain to block any sort of prosperity. Makes a lot of sense, but he is only on 9 farms, so you're going up to 10. Stop putting farms on this town center, SuperAfim. I'm very, very worried about SuperAfim in the coming moments of this game. It's going to be very, very telling here as to how this is all going to work. Nephthys is coming through. One thing that Kvoth doesn't need to care about. This is a super old school thing where it's like, ISIS, you need to cast Prosperity as you're going to the Heroic Age. You don't. You just simply do not need to cast Prosperity as you're going to the Heroic Age. The amount of ISIS players I see sitting with like 1,000 gold in the bank, not able to spend it, you don't need to click Prosperity. You just need to get 400 gold, and then you need to put a Migdol down, and then you can click Prosperity. Then you want the extra gold. You can also throw a market up as soon as you hit the Heroic Age, and you can trade some of that excess gold for stuff like food and wood to pump out even more stuff. Prosperity held is better than prosperity spent, as we do see the forward siege works coming up on this position. Hathor on the way here, and we'll see how things are going to be going at this point. Siege Workshop first here for Kovath. Very, very smart. He does not care about that Migdol Stronghold at this point. It's not important. Do we see a market? Come on. I'm not sure that Kvoth is going to be aware of that kind of, it's kind of a ISIS main of old strategy, kind of in a way, as the Migdol Stronghold going to be coming up just out of line of sight. I don't think that SuperAfim's town center is going to be showing this. It might see a villager running around on the edge there. I'm not 100% sure, but it's not like it matters. It's not like he can do anything to stop it. The Locust, however, is on the way, but it looks like the Migdol will be coming up in time here. And I imagine Kvoth is just going to be able to eat these walrus as well and start making some elephant. Now, the question is going to be, are we going to see any sort of defense against the cheeky rock raid going around here or not? We start seeing the chariot archers coming out. There's the first siege tower making its appearance as the villagers jumping onto this wood line over here. Another siege tower coming out. Still no prosperity getting utilized there as Ancestors Eclipse gets dropped immediately here. The unit's going to be making their way over onto this position here as the Pharaoh Priest going to be targeting down this the Pharaoh over here. The siege tower is going straight after the town center on this position as the villagers pop out over here. Kvoth's got to be a little bit careful to make sure his siege towers can continue in on this position as the Sphinx comes over there. The target fire there from SuperAfim comes through. The Migdol Stronghold looks like it will be getting denied for the time being. In fact, it will get taken out here as the siege tower is going to be returning back over onto this position, starting to shank down these siege towers very, very fast. The villagers pop out, pop in, darting around. We see the Ptsukos coming through here. Can SuperAfim defend this town center or not is the big question. This is some big defenses happening here as the siege towers are going down, and Kvoth has pushed the button too early here, ladies and gentlemen. He thought he could make it work with 2 siege towers. He still hasn't utilized his prosperity in this game. He doesn't have any elephants out, but it's not over just yet for SuperAfim. He is not out of the woodworks just yet. The villagers pop out over here. Chariot Archer is going to be circling around trying to take out the villagers. Kvoth has got himself a 5 villager lead, and he's only on 1 town center, excuse me. So he needs to be aware that this is not, he does not need to be incredibly all in here, because he has an advantage after that damage that he's done. But the mercenary cavalry coming out that are getting sniped here, just garrison into the Migdol stronghold, and he's completely fine. There's still prosperity remaining. Do we see a market anywhere getting thrown up here for Kvoth? No, he can't do the trade trick to get himself some extra food and make an elephant or 2 here, as these mercenary cavalry is getting a lot of damage done over here. As the Migdol stronghold is now up. SuperAfim calmly still alive in this game. He's going to start making those units. And the problem here, the big problem here for Kovath, you have to believe, is going to be, how does he deal with the Wadjet? How does he deal with the Pitsukos? Where is the rock going? And the rock is coming over here. It's going to be getting taken out by that Pharaoh very, very cleanly. Good play there from Kovath. There is still prosperity in the bank here. There is still the shifting sands remaining. So, I mean, Kovath could take the foot off the pedal a little bit here, drop 3 town centers, or go up. Well, he is grabbing a 4 town center over on this position. We do see the villagers coming over onto this gold mine. Incredibly dangerous there. But for some reason, Kovath hasn't managed to secure that position, as the mercenary cavalry, they're still getting produced over here. As a couple of low HP villagers might get sniped down here as the chariot archers come through, sniping some of the units from behind here. Good micro there. He does lose a chariot archer, but he snipes one, so it's a good trade. As the villager lead here is still very, very equal. There's a cheeky little locust getting dropped down there. A couple of villagers going down. That's not what Kvoth needs, as he's going to be retreating back here. We'll be seeing those cavalry trying to micro this. You have to kind of be a little bit careful with what units you're attacking with your chariot archers here. As it looks like Kvoth is not managing his chariot archers on this position at all well, as they're going to be pulling away. We'll see how things are going to be turning up as the villagers come back in onto this position. SuperAfim is going to be attempting to just move in and snipe this, but he doesn't need to. He's just going to shifting sands. He's used all of his god powers now. SuperAfim is down to no god powers as the Pharaoh does get sniped down. The villagers are going to be getting pushed back. SuperAfim now has managed to get himself a villager advantage in this game. Still no town center up for Kvoth, as he was going for a greedy, sneaky grab there, not able to make it work, as the chariot archers coming around onto this position here. We'll see how things are going to come up here. SuperAfim in an incredibly strong position moving forward. He's got his farm set up. He's got a 2 town centers set up. He's got a lead in the town centers. Villagers going to come through here for SuperAfim as well, get himself a 3-1 town center advantage here. As we'll see if Kvoth can actually even manage to win these fights here. The other thing you have to remember is Rara's got a bonus. It's like 20% HP or something. 22% HP, 10%. I think it's 22%. I think that might be, yeah, 22% HP, 10% attack. It's a huge advantage to have, as Kovath is in a very, very difficult position. He's still trying to get siege towers out. He's still trying to micro his units as best as he can. He snipes a chariot archer there. Good play. As we see the town center on this position going to be going up. The town center over here going up as well. As I mean, playing for the late game here, I've seen ISIS players win before, but it's going to be a very tough road here. SuperAfim does have incredibly good knowledge in this matchup. This matchup compared to vanilla is very, very similar. You don't have to worry about after you survive the Ancestors Eclipse timing, which is very, very similar. As we see this town center going to be coming up, the units coming through here to start harassing this town center, but it looks like it will be getting up for Kvoth. And now it's a 12 villager lead here for SuperAfim. He's got 3 town centers. We do see this town center is most likely going to be getting finished here. A couple of villagers might go down again. SuperAfim's raids in this series have been on point. Once he's been allowed out of his base, he's been able to make it work incredibly well. But as this is going to be going on now, we see Kvoth starting to get greeted by 3 elephants and a siege tower, as SuperAfim claims the win here with Kvoth tapping out in the 14th minute of this game. Incredibly surprising result here. Generally speaking, defending this town center is not possible. But 2 siege towers, Ancestors Eclipse kind of getting spread out away from the siege tower. You can literally just target the town center with the Ancestors Eclipse and the siege towers. The villages that they pop out, the Ancestors can easily jump onto those villages, kill them. That's kind of the way to do the Ancestors Eclipse timing. You don't want to be sending them around sniping villages, but if you do, you need to remember that you're going for a villager kills there, and you're going to be attempting to get yourself a villager advantage. But after all is said and done, in this game, Kvoth still had prosperity, and he just could not get a foothold here in this game after the town center didn't fall. He kills the Migdol. He stops the Migdol from going up. But he didn't have any elephants to pop out, no food to come through to just attack the town center, and the villagers can't kill that one off. And SuperAfim easily claims the second win here. On match point, Kvoth may not be making it through to Champions League, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see how he's going to go. Next match is going to be coming very, very soon. If you guys are enjoying this series, enjoying this tournament, enjoying the qualifiers, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.